guys, this is Brian, aka Texas Treasures, and today I'm bringing you another Bolo Buzz What Sold video. These are items that have sold for $50 or more online on places like eBay, Poshmark, OfferUp, and other places. I make these videos to help you be able to find these items that are very profitable when you're outsourcing at places like garage sales, thrift stores, estate sales, auctions, storage units, you name it. And to be honest, I haven't been making my daily or weekly what sold videos. If you're interested in seeing what sells daily, make sure you have subscribed to my channel below and hit the bell button right next to the subscribe button, because every day about 4:45 p.m. Central Time we go live with the Reseller Rewind, where we recap the reselling days items, including what sold for that day. So if you want to know the smaller priced items, make sure you've subscribed and hit the bell button. But I will be continuing to make these $50 plus videos and the $100 plus videos as well to help you find the very best items. So once again, if you appreciate this, go ahead and hit the like button below. It really helps me out. All right, let's go ahead and get straight into it. And keep in mind that these items, I start at the lowest price, so at the $50 mark, and stick around to the very end because we will finish with the highest priced items. All right. First up, this is actually shipping out today. I just actually boxed it up just this morning, which made me think that I haven't done one of these videos in a while. This is a focal brass antique Shipwell barometer thermometer with a West German design nautical decor. This is vintage. You've got the, I guess the humidity, you've got the temperature, got the barometric, the barometric pressure, I believe. I don't know. You got all these different weather instruments, and it's on this cool wooden plaque with this German nautical wheel design. I picked this up at an auction for $18.67, and I sold it for $50 on OfferUp. So, and by the way, I am kind of going more into the vintage, antique, and collectible realm. That's kind of fun to me to sell. So I will be sourcing more of that type of stuff. Okay, next up we have a men's suit. Here we have a Hickey Freeman, which that's a really good brand to look out for. It's a men's two-piece black pinstripe suit, 100% wool. It does have the pants. The jacket is size 46. And the pants are size 38 by 32. Paid $7.50 for this at a thrift store and sold it on eBay for $54 and change. Men's suits can do well. They take a little longer to list. You got to get all the measurements in, and they typically take longer to sell because you're looking for a specific customer with those specific measurements looking for that style. But with all that being said, they can definitely sell for good money. Okay. Next, we have a pair of shoes. Here we have Asics Gel Nimbus 11. These are men's running shoes, size 11, as I said. Actually, these, a guy messaged me on eBay. He was a pastor, and he was interested in these. I did have them marked higher than that, but we came to an agreement, and I accepted an offer from him. So they sold for $54.95, including shipping. Paid $8 at the thrift store. So running shoes, walking shoes, hiking shoes, especially this time of year, and especially as people are kind of cooped up and ready to get out. Even me, myself, I started a running program. I'm on week 3. So yay me, got to stick with it. So running shoes are definitely something to look for, and Asics Gel Nimbus is a brand and model that do well for me. All right, next up we have a board game. This is Z-Man, the El Grande Big Box with the expansion kit. I picked this up at a garage sale about a year ago, and I paid $5. I purchased a lot of these board games. I did a bulk purchase, which if you're not doing bulk purchases, try to do bulk purchases. You can get your cost of goods lower. So I paid $5 for this. It sold for $56.04 on eBay. And, you know, during the height of the pandemic, board games were selling like crazy. So this was one of those that sold during that time period. All right, next up we have another eBay sell. All these headbands came from my Nike storage unit. One of the places I source is I do buy abandoned storage units. I got this one storage unit for like $100. It was loaded with brand new dead stock Nike shoes, Nike headbands, and some other things. And these headbands have been selling for me. I sell, several per week. And this guy lotted up a whole bunch of them, which is always nice. And he saved on shipping, and I got a bunch of them out at one time. So, storage units can be profitable. Okay, up next we have let me see, this was from an auction. An auction. I paid 25 for this. I did pay up. And that's another thing. If you know what things are selling for, and when I researched this, the sell-through rate was phenomenal. Like, I think there were 2 available when I researched it, and the comp showed like 18 or 20 had sold in the past 90 days. So that tells you that this is going to sell fast, and that's what happened. So I was willing to pay up because I knew it would sell fast. I knew what the market was. So I picked this up at an auction, paid up $25 for it, but it sold for $67.94, and it sold within a week. So keep that in mind when you're doing your research. Don't only look at the selling price, but look at the sell-through rate. That will help inform your buying decisions. All right, here's another vintage item. This was an estate sale find. Here we have a vintage. This is from the 50s and 60s. This is supposed to be a wood, and this is a natural wood here, but you can see they painted it this like olive green, and that color was really in style in the 50s and 60s, kind of that mid-century modern look. So they actually painted it green. Not the best color, but that's what happened there. 21.5 inches long. It's a Taylor, which is the brand. Banjo. This is the style. Wood and brass. We got the brass embellishments. Wall Barometer weather station, made in the USA. So you can see that I've sold 2 of these recently, these vintage Barometer weather stations. So many people may not know about those. You'll walk right by them. Me and my friend Clay, we were at an estate sale, and he walked right by it, and I knew from my research that these were valuable. Now, this did take a while to sell. I will be honest, probably took 6 months to sell, but that's okay. Paid $5 for it. Found the right buyer on eBay. They paid $72.55, including shipping. So really nice flip. Be on the lookout for these vintage weather instrument stations. And this is cool, like this mid-century design. So really cool. Okay, now this is an interesting one. The sell is really good, but this turned out to be a pain in the butt. This once again sold. Well, let's talk about what it is, and we'll talk about why it's a pain in the butt. This is a Norman Rockwell, Boy Scouts of America, Friend in Need. The number on the puzzle is 2275. 540-piece puzzle, brand new, shrink wrapped. I found this at the thrift store. I paid $5, and it did sell for $74.44, and all that's great. Here's the problem. This is an item that sold during the pandemic. My buyer, I guess, does not know how to read. They left me my first and only negative feedback on eBay, saying that they were upset, they were dissatisfied that it was not a wood puzzle. Well, as you can see in the title, it does not say anything about being a wood puzzle. Also, if you read the description, which I don't have linked, but the description does not say it being a wood puzzle. So why did they think it was a wood puzzle? I don't know. And then their second comment was I was price gouging, which everybody was jumping on the bandwagon, which that was not the case either. When I bought this, and I had this about 6 to 9 months, it's been listed a long time. This is a very rare puzzle, and my price was based on the comps, which is based on what has sold in the past. And a big factor is this is very rare and scarce. So they jumped to conclusions, gave me negative feedback. I reached out to them. They've ignored me. Obviously, they gave the 1 star. So this is a ridiculous, ill-informed customer. That's part of the business. I did put an eBay retractment thing in. That also didn't go through. I guess I will try to call eBay and see if I can talk some sense into them. but you know, that's part of it. Even though it's, as you can tell, it's really frustrated me, this this negative feedback. By the way, if you haven't liked the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I make these again to help you find good items to sell for really good profit. So those likes, comments, subscribes, bell notifications really help me out. All right, next, moving up the ladder on $50 items that have sold or more. Here we have an eBay sale. Sony is the brand. This is a 5 CD compact disc multiplayer carousel, because they'll turn around. The 5 disc CDs will turn around in here. Home audio, and the model's number is CDP-C215. Electronics are always great because these model numbers are easy to look up. The downside on these, you do have to test them. I did test this before I sold it. Picked this up at a garage sale for $5, and it sold for $74.94, including shipping. Notice that pure white background, by the way. That came from the eBay white background remover, which is really nice tool, because you can see down here, I took these pictures on the kitchen counter. On the first one, I did use the background remover, which really makes that pop. So if you're not using that, consider using that tool. Okay, all right, next up. This was either an estate sale or an auction. I think it was an auction, but I'm not sure. One of the two. Very similar. This is a vintage, primitive, and notice the keywords. You wanna really get all these keywords in your title to help people find your item. Primitive, Mexican, and I cannot pronounce this. My wife is Mexican, and she told me how to pronounce it. She says it lovely. I'll butcher it. Mocajete, hita, hite, I don't know. Lava rock, mortar and pestle, herb grinder, salsa maker. This thing is heavy. It's really cool. This was part of a lot I won, and so I only paid $1 for it. Sold for $82.44 on eBay, including shipping. A lot of people don't know about these. These salsa makers, herb grinders are valuable. That it was real heavy, made of that lava rock, and people make salsa and grind up herbs and different things in it. Real authentic, real cool piece. Had it for a week or two and it sold. So a really cool piece. So if you see those, you know, get them. All right, this one just shipped out this morning. Now this is an interesting piece. I won this in an auction, and I did pay up, as you can see, for the price. $49.80. That includes all the fees and sales tax. This is a vintage Fenton. That's the maker. Fenton's a really well-known glass maker, makes really quality products. This is mid-century also. Glass, plum is the color, opalescent. Oh, I don't know why I have hobnail on the top. It doesn't actually have hobnail. That's like the little spiky things. This one doesn't have that. Oops, that one slipped. 10-inch basket. This would be like a ruffle design. These ruffles right here. It's a beautiful piece of glass. And I did pay up on this. And here's the thing. I was a little upset with the auction company, but I didn't catch this at the time I picked it up, that the last picture, which isn't on here, there's a crack. Well, actually, maybe you can see it there. Yeah, there's a crack right here. Without that crack, this thing's probably going 150 to 200. Very unique piece. But with the crack, and I did calculate that into my price. So with the crack, I did price it much lower, and it sold for $89.98. Still almost doubled my money, and was able to salvage it. And I'm sure the reason it sold is because it's a Fenton, 2, it's a beautiful piece, and 3, like I did not find one exact. I found the hobnail. I found some similar, and this is a larger basket than some of them. So some of your art glass items can go for really good money. In Fenton, if you see Fenton, the mark, and they have different marks. They didn't write Fenton, but they had this design, and I do subscribe to WorthPoint, and I watch a lot of Auction Professor and Dr. Lori to help learn about the vintage, the antiques, the collectibles, because those things can go for some good money. But you know, it came out okay. It would have done better if it hadn't been broke. Now this is a really cool piece. I picked this up at an estate sale. Here we have an old school brick car phone. Title is Vintage Cellular. Motorola is the brand. Inc. Cell Mobile Brick Car Phone. really cool. I actually plugged this into my car phone. I mean, into my cigarette lighter in my car. So that's what this does. This plugs in to your car, gosh, I can't talk this morning. Your cigarette lighter, and it powered up. So I took pictures of it. You want to do that, showing that the thing actually works. It is supposed to have an antenna. The antenna was missing, or it would have went for even more money. But people collect this vintage collectible things, and this is one I really love. Like, part of me is like, man, I should get the antenna, see if I can get service. I don't know. I doubt they'd probably still service this thing and roll around rocking the brick phone on the car in the car. I thought that would be really cool. I remember these as a kid coming up, and these were very expensive back in the day, the very first car phones. And so, a really cool piece of Americana, a piece of history. And paid $11.50 at the estate sale, and it sold for $111 and change, so 10x'd it. Great profit, but really cool item, really cool piece. Okay, next we have a garage sale find. This sold on eBay. Mephisto is the brand. If you don't know about Mephisto, Mephisto makes really high quality men's shoes. So anytime you see those, look them up. Mephisto match men's walking shoes, black full grain leather, this beautiful full grain leather, size 10. Picked these up for 10. This was a lady at a garage sale. She was closing out her Poshmark closet, and I looked up her Poshmark closet, and she wasn't selling much because her pictures were terrible. To be real, her pictures weren't good. So she was unloading this, and I picked up 6 pair of shoes for $10 each, and these were all really good, high quality shoes, and this was one of those. So I paid 10 for it, and it sold for $129 and change on eBay, and that does include the shipping. So that was a really nice flip, and that sold this week. All right, another garage sale find. Was out garage selling with my friend Clay from Clay's Closet. We actually made a video, so if you want to see that, you could go to my garage sale videos. And there's not a lot because I picked up a GoPro, and I filmed it with a GoPro, and I was getting ready to start garage sale seasons, and then this pandemic hit. And obviously, we've been on lockdown and starting to come out of it slowly now. But anyway, this you can see as I actually found this at a garage sale. Paid $10 for it. This is a Cuisinart Ice 45. That's the model. Mix It soft serve 1.5 quart ice cream maker white. This thing was new in the box, new sealed in the box. I looked up the comps there and I saw, wow, these are going for over 100. Guy wanted 20. I was able to negotiate down to 10. Clay kind of almost screwed that up too, because Clay became best friends with this guy here in Dallas, and he was talking to him. And you always want to negotiate. The guy said 20, and I would have bought it at 20, but I'm trying to get it lower, right? Because that's just more profit. And I said, hey, could you do 10? And he thought about it. He's like, yeah, I can do 10. And so I go over there, I pay for it, and then my friend Clay is like, hey, man, do you got $20 I could borrow? I'm thinking in my head, are you serious, dude? I should have told him no. But I'm like, yeah. So I gave Clay the 20, and the guy thought I only had 10, and he's looking at me crazy. And I'm like, I want to kill Clay at that moment. I'm like, dude, come on, pay attention to what's going on. So be careful who you go garage selling with. They can get you in trouble. He should be taking notes on how to negotiate. He struggles with that. So if you're watching this, Clay, man, come on, work on your negotiating. Anyway, this ice cream maker was a great flip, great profit. You'll be surprised at the things you can find at really good prices at garage sales. All right, so that was my best item, and I will get back on board with making these. I'll also do a $100 one once I get 10 items that sold for over 100. So I hope you found these Bolos, be on the lookout for, helpful. So if you do, please hit the like button below. If you haven't subscribed, hit that red subscribe button. If you'd like to be notified when new videos are dropped, you'll be the first one by hitting the bell. You'll get a notification. And also comment below, what are some recent good sales that you've had? I'd like to learn from you guys as well. So that's it for now, guys. Happy treasure hunting. Stay safe out there. Until next time, this is Texas Treasures, and I'm out. Peace.